Instrumental Studies here at IPFW, and it's great to see as many faces in the audience as I can see, despite the tanning bed we have here. That first piece you heard, just by a show of hands, how many of you have heard that piece before? Yeah. As long as there are bands that are sitting down and playing music, you will always hear that piece. The reason why is that's one of the first 3 pieces ever written for an actual concert band. Before 1924, all the bands were either marching and playing or on horseback and playing, if you lived in France. So this is really significant that Ray Vaughan Williams would write one of the first pieces. Him, along with another Englishman, Gustav Holst, wrote the first 3 significant pieces for concert bands. So that's what you just heard here. This is the Symphonic band behind me, and before we go on any further, I just want to say that this semester's been an absolute wonderful experience for me. I feel really bad because it's a selfish thing, but I've actually learned more from them than I know that they've learned from me. So it's been an absolute pleasure to work with these fine individuals. There's one omission that I must point out from the program, and that is our pianist, Miss Madison Cole, has been left out. So only in name. Oh, and she's not here either, so I guess she's really left out. But should be on stage in just a little bit, so I just wanted to make that clear. So this next piece is an acrostic song from Final Alice, which is a Pulitzer Prize-winning work by David Del Tredici. You may wonder why that piece ended kind of oddly, because the very end of the text is a question mark. So, the next piece you're going to hear is called Canzone Bergamasca. We're going back now a couple centuries to the 17th century by Samuel Scheidt. This is arranged by Larry Dan. You'll excuse us, we just did a tune one more time. All right, that piece was entitled Slava, if you probably guessed, written for Miroslava Rostropovich, the famous conductor of the National Symphony Orchestra. We have a great opportunity as they're changing. I thought I'd fill in a little bit and tell you a little bit about what's happening next semester for the ensembles. Both ensembles are audition ensembles, and in order to, with this being exclusively audition only, Symphonic Band is audition and class sign up. Next year, or well, I mean that really too, next year or next semester, the ensemble here has a chance to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City. They're going to be partaking in a 5-day excursion through Ohio, Pennsylvania. They'll stop and perform a concert in Pennsylvania. They're going to perform another concert at Columbia University as part of the Columbia Festival of Winds. And then they will end their trip in Carnegie Hall as part of a showcase concert, the New York Wind Band Festival, featuring our ensemble as well as Indiana University's Wind Ensemble. Should be a pretty exciting time for us here. You'll probably notice that in your pamphlet, in your program, there's a little spot with a picture, and it kind of describes what we're doing. On the very bottom of that pamphlet, there's a URL, a website link. What's really important for us, we've never been to Carnegie Hall, IPFW, so this is a huge deal for us. This is a huge, even a bigger deal, not so much for the university as it is for these students. This is a once-in-a-lifetime, most likely, opportunity for these students. I've never performed at Carnegie Hall, and I'm not young, so we have this opportunity. It doesn't come around. And my whole goal behind their trip, is that I don't think that they should have to subsidize any of their trip. Because as you hear from the Symphonic Band and this group, the countless hours of work these students do to get an A. It has nothing to do with an A. That's an easy credit. This is all about the achievement that they accomplish here. So it's my belief that I want to do everything in my power to help them not have to pay a single dime to have this amazing, life-changing experience. So as a result, that's why you have that little link there. So if there's, to help us out, or if you know someone who might be able to help us out, help these students out so that they can go without having to pay a single dime for this experience, it's incredibly
we'd be incredibly grateful for that. So again, thank you for being here. It's just that in and of itself is a great show of appreciation for what these students do. And as you hear, they're phenomenal. Both ensembles are phenomenal. And like I said in the first group, my job is easy. I just stand up here, lose hair, and conduct. Just move my arms around. These students do amazing, they shift mountains. So, and you'll continue to hear that here today. I keep making jokes about my hair loss. I think it's some Freudian thing about me actually feeling bad. But anyway, don't worry about it. This next piece is by a young composer entitled, the composer's name is Aaron Perrine. He's an up-and-coming composer, very well established within the circles of wind band. It's entitled Pale Blue on Deep. If you've been coming to concerts for a while, you'll know that we try to feature the most outstanding talents we have in our department, excuse me, and primarily, faculty, for many reasons, one of which being that not enough of our community members hear the incredible talent that we have at IPFW on faculty. So we've featured quite a few. I've been very lucky in that everyone I've asked has said yes. I've never actually told them we would give them anything except adulation and maybe a handshake. And they've all said yes. And this is no exception. We are incredibly privileged to have a very strong vocal program here at IPFW, led by the Director of Vocal Studies, Dr. Sam Savage. Dr. Savage has performed at the Met, the Metropolitan Opera, numerous times all around the world, in Rome, all around, and I vicariously live through him as he posts on his Facebook everywhere that he goes. It seems like everywhere Sam Savage is performing somewhere abroad, and I take care of 2 children at home. So I do live vicariously, and we are incredibly privileged to have him. So he's going to be performing with us Mitternacht, which is, if you read in your program notes, is an incredible piece amongst a larger group of Ruckert-Lieder, named after Friedrich Ruckert, who provided the text. And this is Gustav Mahler's Mitternacht. Please help me in welcoming to the stage wonderful vocalist Dr. Sam Savage. And now for something a little different. This next piece you're going to hear is written by a gentleman who is 25 years old. He's completing his 4th year of his PhD at Princeton University in composition. His name's Viet Quang. You will hear about this man for as long as we continue to live. He is an incredible young voice. You'll just see at the end of this piece what I mean. The ability for him to write for wind ensemble is an incredible thing. And writing for wind ensemble is difficult because you have all these different colors. And many composers shy away because of that. It's a very stressful thing. So this gentleman has jumped on full bore and has written this piece called Sound and Smoke, which is absolutely gorgeous. But before we do that, we have a couple things to speak to you about. First of all, this is one of our, it's really sad at the end of each semester for me to see students who go on to do other things through graduation or internships. And this semester we're losing one really valuable member who's been with us as long as I've been here, I believe. Noelle Beal, who's going on in music therapy and will be doing an internship here coming up very soon, and she's done with all of her coursework as of this semester, so I just want to acknowledge her really quick. If you could help me acknowledge her and all her work she's done for our program. She will be truly missed. There's no rest for the weary, however. These students, after this concert, we immediately continue on in gear because we're performing at IMEA, the Indiana Music Educators Association, as part of a clinic showcasing beautiful, wonderful works for young ensembles that are rarely played by Pulitzer Prize-winning composers. So we're going to be doing that immediately upon the return to the school year. Also, during IMEA, we're going to be sending many of our students to perform in an intercollegiate ensemble, which is the showcase concert for the IMEA clinic that happens here in Fort Wayne. January 14th through the 16th. The guest conductor will be H. Robert Reynolds, who's the retired director of bands at the University of Michigan, an absolute gem in our field. And soloing with the ensemble will be a gentleman named Jimmy Walker, not from the Good Times fame, but from motion picture fame. He actually is a flautist and is the flute professor at the University of Southern California, but can be heard on every flute solo you've heard for the last 40 years in a film. That's James Walker. So he's going to be featured on that performance. Again, thank you so much for being here today. It's an absolute pleasure. This last piece is entitled Sound and Smoke. Have a great night and have a great holiday season.
Thank you.